It's interesting to play a character that you're the same person, so you are two people, but you're actually essentially the same person, but you're a person's idea of what that person has become, if that makes sense. So the challenge is that you're the same person, so there's going to be differences, but there isn't. So how do you create that? So Carolyn's a little more uptight. She's a doctor, and now they're here everything down. I think they visually wanted to make a delineation between the two women, but also it's just Natalie's in his head, and she's what he wants her to be or what he needs her to be in a moment. So if he needs to be reprimanded, fine. If he needs to be comforted, fine. If he needs to have a romantic moment. So she gets to kind of be more flexible, and she morphs kind of, I guess. I want to use that word, but and whereas so then when Carolyn steps into the picture, it's kind of funny because in a way she's having competition with herself, with her the fantasy of a man who has a fantasy about who she is or who she became. So there's a lot of different levels to it, so it's fun.
So do we get to see the parallel journeys of Caroline and Natalie this season through this whole season?
You get to see, well, I'm not, there's all these, didn't Ken answer this question? I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not allowed. You'll see parallels for a little bit, and then you get to see him kind of make a decision.
Does he choose between the two hot women?
He kind of chooses between the two. And then things kind of keep going. I mean, we're just coming to the end of the season, so I haven't.
What do you think motivated Caroline to actually embrace having a relationship with somebody who is a former patient? It just seems like she's such a proper person who would always want to observe the procedure.
But how many proper people do you know that do things they shouldn't do, right?
A lot.
Yeah. This is television, right? So, and in life, I think life is almost worse at times, right? You see people. I mean, no, she shouldn't be having a relationship with her patient, and I think that. I mean, that's a real conflict for her. And not only that, is that she knows what's involved with being with a schizophrenic, right? So it's not like somebody needs somebody to go, oh, yeah, but I'm schizophrenic. Oh, okay, but I really think you're cute. She actually knows what all that entails by making that decision. So in spite of herself,
Do you think she genuinely fell in love and that she just was willing to tackle all those issues?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I mean, we do say at the end of the first season, she's, I've followed you, I've read your book, so obviously she's been turned on by his mind for a long time, and then when she meets him, she obviously makes the decision at the end of the season that she wants to be his friend.
How surprised were you to learn that there was going to be a second incarnation of a character you've been playing all season last year?
I was like, oh, okay, all right, now I gotta figure out how to do that. No, it just meant more fun, more things to do. Right?
At what point did you find out in the process?
Probably mid-season, like when I actually was given the script. Yeah. Like, oh, guess what? This is what you're going to be doing. So, and you end up developing quite a bit of sympathy for him because you really realize that how he was struggling in college and when the whole break happened. Right? And so that's actually really touching. I think that's how they handled that at the end of the season. It was really well done.
Yourself able to work more with the other actors on the show this season?
Not a little bit, not a lot. A little bit, yeah.
You're still kind of like this little.
I'm still kind of this isolated island, right? I mean, they come in and out of rooms, and I see them. Hello. But I don't actually get to, interact with them. Yeah. I remember there's one scene I get to interact with RJ. I was like, RJ, we get to act together today.
You're like, we actually have our characters living together, but I don't ever talk to you.
Yeah.
Is it because the Caroline character is very hesitant to fall fully
I just think it's the structure of the show. I don't think it has to do, and that's my opinion.
So she's not like on the crime scene solving crimes with them now?
I mean, it's not that, I think the relationship between Pearson, Carolyn, and Natalie is to do with his personal realm and what he's working out behind the scenes and how he's trying to figure out the cases, and it has to do with his love life and those kinds of things, and that's just it's just the structure of the show, right? Then he goes off and he's solving crimes with Moretti and doing all that. So, I mean, I suppose they could bring her in as a doctor, periodically to be an expert, but she has a specific expertise as well. So, I mean, that wouldn't happen every week.
Right.
So,
What do you find to be your favorite thing about each of the two women that you're portraying?
Well, the thing I like too about the pilot is, his character was
what's
a
my
little
favorite
reserved,
thing?
but you definitely
Question.
get to see why these guys are friends.
I haven't thought about it.
The reason why Dean Haley and Dr. Pierce are friends. So
I
let's see
like
what
that they're.
and definitely find out that Dean Haley, even though he's a dude,
Well, it's kind of nice
character,
to
he's very
be the age I'm at, and I'm playing fantasy of a guy. It is Hollywood, right? So let's be realistic. I mean, oh God, I'm going to be 40 and I'm not going to work anymore. So, but that's okay. I still have a job, so that's good, right? But she's smart. I mean, they're both very smart women, and it's not that. I mean, I used to do this funny voice with one of my agents, and I would phone him, and he goes, "Stop it," because I sound really like I was just clueless and kind of. And so it's not that that's not a fun place to go as well, because it's all characters and they're all fun to explore. But it's nice to play intelligent women, and use your brain. And, I think for this, that's probably what I enjoy. And they're the same, but they're different. And so and Natalie has a real sense of play. Like she kind of takes the piss out of things a little bit. Am I allowed to say that? I just swore. But no, she gets to kind of play with him, and it's like a little puppy a little bit sometimes, right? And then at the same, but she really cares about Pierce too, right? So there's a real. But this is what the challenge of the role is, because it's all from his perspective. So I'm always playing what he needs in a scene. So even at the end of the first season, when we're in the bathroom and I'm like, you have to let me go, and there's that whole it's really emotional. But that's where he needs. That's from his perspective. Like, I'm not a woman standing there going. It's what he's imagining it would be if he was letting go of his girlfriend in order to do something else. So we're always having to approach scenes that way. So that's what's different about anything I've ever done, because I'm always playing
a real person.
his perspective. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas when I play Carolyn, you're coming in as, she's not a woman scorned, but she's, there's this other woman that's around that's her that she's competing with for this man's attention, which is so then you get to play. There's other colors.
How does she see Kate, or does she even notice Kate?
They don't really have a ton of interaction so far. So
they aren't aware of this other woman that might be competing for attention.
Not real. I mean, it's sort of, she's kind of, because Kate's such a fun character, right? So she's always kind of giving him a hard time. Like, oh, well, who's that? You know what I mean? And yet they have their own thing going on. They've known each other for a long time. So that they get to play with that whole thing. But no, it's not like there's a competition or something like that. Yeah.
Well, again, you'd mentioned that Caroline was competing with Natalie because she was the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But again, yet there's another real woman out there that's spending a lot of time with Daniel.
Right.
And how would she see that relationship?
Oh, I mean, Carolyn would
Yes.
see? Oh, well, I'm sure if he was... Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were... And I'm not, the writers are... But if you were Carolyn and he was actually involved with another woman, you would probably be... But what's so crazy about it is she can't really be upset because she knows Natalie exists, right? And Natalie's her in his mind. So it's it's a complicated, interesting, scenario. Yeah. No, and he's not having an affair. He just has the fantasy of her.
Right.
That she's going, excuse me, can I have dinner with you tonight, and you're not having dinner with the fantasy of who you think I should be, right? Because she says that at the end of the first season. She goes, I'm nobody's fantasy girl, right? So then he's got to actually look at deal with this person as a real person. She doesn't morph into what he'd like her to be, right?
Right.
I'm one of those.